Hey everyone, and welcome back to Robbie's Backstage Bants. Today I have a super special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself and say who you play?
Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Tutty. I play Dougal Todd in Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York at the Criterion Theatre.
How exciting! Literally at the Criterion Theatre right now.
Right
Um,
now, on stage, yes, on the
yeah,
set. That's
what
great.
a cool place to be. Now, this first question, it's a bit generalized. It's more about you than the show, and that is, what is the journey of how you got to where you are today?
Well, not very glamorous. I saw an audition, um, a- and I was like, yeah, okay, brilliant. This is a fun. It's got a real wonderful script, really fantastic songs, and I thought I'd love to give it a shot. And had a few auditions. The manager was fortunate enough to be gifted the not gifted. I managed to. They offered me the role. Fantastic. Did a run at the kiln. We extended, and then during that extension, we had conversations with the producers because they came up to us and said there's potential for it to come to the Criterion, and we were very excited. We were really. It's a fantastic uh, thing to happen, and I feel very privileged that the show can get the recognition that it deserves.
Yeah, totally. I'm really excited. It looks amazing. So for people who don't know, including myself, what is the story of Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York?
So I play a guy called Dougal Todd, who's flying to New York to go to his estranged father's wedding, where he's met by Robin, played by Dejonna, um, who's the sister of the bride, and it's a story about how they really change each other within these like quick 36 hours that Dougal's in New York. Yeah, and the effect that they have on each other's lives. It's a beautiful story, very sad, very funny, very powerful, very evocative.
Yeah. So how would you describe Dougal as a character? Like what is he to you?
He's been described as impossibly ambitious, impossibly optimistic, and all those sort of things. And I don't think that's too who I am. I don't think that's. I don't think I'm impossibly ambitious, but I think he's. If you look into it and if you watch the show, you can tell he's very flawed.
Mm.
He's very hurt, but at the same time, I think he's still facing his sort of life with such brightness and with such color. And he's always got this ability, his superpower is just to flip things and just, yep, fine. That's the okay. I have understood this information. It's not how I wanted it to go, but this is just as good for these 75 reasons. Um, and I think that's beautiful. He's a real beautiful boy, and I'm very, 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 very privileged to be playing him.
Yeah, totally. And creating a character like that, how did you sort of find your way into it?
Well, the creatives have been amazing. They've been really, really. The dialogue has been immensely open, and they've been really like even down to like. I'm from a village outside of Crawley, and we
Mm.
remember us having conversations. And they said, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, Crawley." And he went, "We'll put that in," and just to have a bit of me, literally a bit of just a bit of me
Yeah.
in. It just made me feel so welcomed, and I felt like I really belonged. And to have that, it's not about ego, it's not about ownership, it's just about being respected. And as soon as you have those ingredients, the work you can do is so much more truthful and so much more fun. And your potential as an actor and the potential of the quality of the work just goes up immensely because of that. It's such a pleasant environment.
Yeah. How do you find that this is sort of different to things you've done in the past? You've obviously done lots of amazing shows. So how do you find that this is different?
Well, I think that the nature of a two-hander immediately changes the game. It's very exposing. It forces you to be very honest all the time and listen all the time, which can be difficult doing it 8 times a week. But if you slip, for a moment, it's very obvious. There's a sudden shift, there's a sudden change, and you know, people who come and see the show might see a show where we were really on it, and then another one where we, slipped a bit, and it can be very, very, very obvious. And so that responsibility is very, very fun. It's
Mm.
scary, but it's fun. Um, and I'm really excited to be fighting that, battling that beast.
Yeah. I bet it's a bit of a beast at times. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it can be.
So obviously being part of a show from the creation is a really sort of special thing. Was there a moment in that sort of time where you were thinking, wow, this is so what moment did it hit you?
This show has been alive well before I've
Yeah.
been involved. And and so to be a small cog in this big machine is a real privilege. And I think it was the moment in rehearsals when I really felt welcome, and I felt like I was allowed to be there. Like I, it can be very easy for the creative team to feel like for you, because I would say that I'm a an insecure actor. I'm secure enough to be able to, you know, but and so I think sometimes it's like, oh, I should be very grateful for being here, and they're doing me a favor, this, that, and the other, and silly things, that just irrational thoughts that don't need to enter your mind. But as soon as I realized that those thoughts were not anywhere near entering my brain, that's when I was like, wow, okay, this is really, really
Mm.
cool. This is really fun. And then the success of the show really was a byproduct of that. And I'm thrilled that it is as successful as it is. But just to feel welcome and safe and important in the working environment is very important to me.
Absolutely. And, it is successful. It is, people are loving it, which is great to see. And all these different sort of events that you've done at ABY Road Studios, that looked
Yeah.
that looked like a lot of fun. How was that?
We did the EP. We released the EP there at Abbey Road, just with, like just walking down the hall and just legends, just like left, right, and center. It's crazy. It was a really, really fun, really classy as well, really cool.
Now you're up there with those legends. So
Oh
that's
God,
that's
compare myself to that. No.
that's on the bucket list, sorted.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you have a favorite song in the show?
To perform probably would be a song called "About to Go In," uh, which you can listen to now on Spotify.
Yes,
Wherever.
unreal.
It's really fun. It's very still, and it's very brave, I think, to write a song like that where there's no, you know, big note at the end, or there's
Yeah.
like it's very brave for it to sound very similar,
Mm.
and and to rely on context a lot, but for it to still be without that context, still a very beautiful song. Um, and so it's a real privilege to sing every night. I love it very, very much.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's really nice that that doesn't have to be a big note. You know what I mean? As you were saying, like there is not a big note at the end. That doesn't need to be the case to have a beautiful song. And I think that needs to be sort of recognized more.
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of songs where it's just a beautiful ballads, but to be involved in a show where there are both
Yeah.
is fun. This is there. I wouldn't say that this show has a particular genre. Uh, the songs can feel like some of them feel like they come out of Hamilton, for God's sake, and then straight out of Sweeney Todd. It's like it's really, really fun. It's really challenging as an actor, and it's really validating and life affirming that I can supposedly do a good job at that. It's very, very honoring. Yeah, I'm very blessed.
Yeah. We mentioned earlier about tackling the beast of a two-hander. I imagine you have quite a lot of fun. Has there been any times where you've had a little bit of a slip up and that's really stuck in your mind? Anything funny that's gone on?
Literally right now, like yeah, there's I'm like having mental blocks, and and I think the important thing to know is that that's perfectly human, as long as you just
Yeah.
conversations with yourselves, and do everything you can to mitigate that. But yeah, all the time, especially with the two-hander, where it's just a constant tennis match of dialogue.
Mm.
But no, but it's really, really fun regardless. And the beast is a beast, but she's fun as
She's the
well. So
beauty of a beast, exactly. Totally. Is there a favorite moment in the show?
probably, other than singing "About to Go In," I'd
Yeah.
probably say performing with Dejana in American Express, which is a song that you cannot listen to. You have to come and see the show if you want to listen to it. So it's very, very fun. It's very freeing, but also very funny, very profound. It's a really important song as well. And it's really, really fun. Yeah.
It does just sound like such a lovely and exciting show to go and see. I mean, we're getting little snippets of the set there just next to you. It looks like
Yeah, yeah. Yes, suitcases and what have
fun.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun, and I bet it is.
Yeah,
I
really.
have,
Gilmore, our set designer, did a fantastic job. Really, really, really simple, but really, really profoundly complicated as well. Very,
yeah,
very yeah.
and all the best things are, it
Oh,
it doesn't need to be crazy. It needs to be right, and that is it.
exactly.
It's perfect.
It's perfect temperature for this show for sure. This set,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really nice. Nice suitcases there. Get a lot of
Yeah, I might
stuff in those.
take some home as well, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
you never know when you could do with a suitcase, especially that size.
Oh yeah. I mean, some of the ones behind you are just. I'm seeing if I can like. I mean, it's just a tower of them. You know,
Way.
crazy. Yeah, all good.
Awesome. Love that.
You go.
So, what is your biggest piece of advice for aspiring performers?
The main one I'd say that the main one that I wish that I had woven into my DNA, which is easier said than done, is probably um compare it. Don't compare yourself. You know, I can't remember who said it. Someone said the comparison is the thief of joy, and it really is true.
Mm,
Really is true. And I think you know this industry relies on individualism. So don't feel like you have to compare yourself to other actors. Or I think it's really clever to take little things
yeah,
that you love, choices that you prefer, techniques that you want to adopt. Absolutely, of course, we rely on that. But you know, your individualism is key. It's very important, you know, because you could be the next person that other people are trying to compare themselves to, you know. So
yeah,
it's a vicious cycle, but you know, I think yeah, just focus on yourself, you know.
absolutely. And I have one final question, very to do with the show. It's your chance to sell it. This is why should people come and see the show?
Um, I think it's a really beautiful beautiful story about two people who aren't, you know, changing the world. They aren't trying to be bigger than what they can be. They're just two people trying to find their way through life. And I think that's who isn't trying to do that in this day and age. If you just want to see two people who you probably can relate to at times, one of us at some point in the show, through the medium of song, through the medium of musical theatre, I think it's a really powerful experience. And yeah, tickets are really affordable as well. So like, come on down, it's really good.
Amazing. That is it. I'll leave a ticket link in the description. Go and get some tickets. Go and see the show because it looks phenomenal. But aside
Cool.
from that, I just want to thank you for joining me to this
Thank you very
afternoon.
much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much
Been
for
an
having me.
absolute pleasure. And I'll see you all in the next episode.